Students, I am here with another video from the chapter of class 10th Science NCERT book from the chapter of life process. So before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that till now what all things we have discussed in this chapter. So we have discussed about the word life process. What does this mean? This means that the processes which are necessary, which are required for surviving of the individual, that is said to be as life process. Okay. So it means that it is a process by which the organisms are able to live their life. So if we talk about various life processes, we need to study about many life processes in this chapter. So we started with the life process of nutrition. Okay, so we studied about the modes of nutrition in which we are dealing with the autotrophic mode of nutrition, and also we have to study about this heterotrophic mode. Okay, so with this we have started with autotrophic mode of nutrition, which takes place in the plants, and that too in the green plants. Now why this is taking place in the green plants, children? Because green plant has all the machineries to utilize the inorganic material, that is the water, carbon dioxide. Okay, then also it has chlorophyll. Okay, fine, it can be utilized for the chlorophyll. So this chlorophyll can be the function of the chlorophyll is that it is going to trap the sunlight. Fine, it is going to trap the sunlight. Yes, so this is what is about the chlorophyll. I said that these are the green pigments which helps in the intake of, they trap, actually they are going to trap the sun's rays. Okay, so which is being converted, the sunlight is being converted in the form of the chemical energy in the form of food. Now food which is being synthesized in the form of the carbohydrate, it is going to synthesize in the form of carbohydrate, and also after some time what happens, if the extra food which is being present, it is stored in the form of the starch. So starch is the storage material in the plants. Now what happens if the plants which are not able to photosynthesize, if the plants are not able to do photosynthesis, then which type of nutrition they are going to have. So we discussed about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition in the non-green plants. So non-green plants means they are not having the chlorophyll. Now why this is important, I have told you, because the chlorophyll has a tendency to trap the sunlight, but still some plants do not have sunlight. Then what happens? They are not having this chlorophyll. Then what happens? If they are not having chlorophyll, then they have to switch over to the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Instead of doing the autotrophic mode of nutrition, they are going to have, they have a when there is, it becomes necessity, because for living we require food, and for food we require this nutrition process to be going on. Now if chlorophyll is not present, then what happens? They have to switch over to another mode, that is termed to be as the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So we have to study about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, in which we will study about the three modes of nutrition. Okay, so the first mode was saprophytic mode of nutrition, which we have already discussed. Okay, so the first mode of nutrition was, in this we were studying about the heterotrophic. Now, in this heterotrophic mode of nutrition, we have to study about the saprophytic mode of nutrition, which depends upon the animals, the organisms. They are said to be as saprophytes because they depend upon dead and decaying matter, organic matter. Okay, now if they are going to depend upon the dead and decaying organic matter, children, again the second type of heterotrophic mode of nutrition is the parasitic mode of nutrition. Okay, so this is a parasitic mode of nutrition. So this is another heterotrophic mode of nutrition, which is known to be as a parasitic mode, children. Now parasitic mode means there is one parasite and host. Now, before studying this, you should understand the topic of what is this parasite and what do you mean by hosts. So, parasites and hosts both are living. Okay, they both are living. Now, if they both are living, then what happens? They are going to have, they are going to they will have certain relationship. What kind of relationship they are having? They are having a host and parasitic relationship. Okay. So they have host and parasite relationship. Fine. Now, what is this host and parasite relationship? Because this is also living and this is also living. But these both, one of them is will be dependent upon another. So here, what does this parasitic mode of nutrition means? It means that whenever the parasites are there, all those organisms. We are talking about the living beings. We are talking about the organisms which have different modes of nutrition. Okay. So here, the organism is dependent upon one living organism is dependent upon the another living organism for its food. It is going to have the prepared food. Fine. It is going to just absorb all the prepared food which is being made by the host. So parasite is that organism which is dependent upon the next living organism, that is the host. So this is known as the host and parasite relationship, where one living organism is dependent upon other living organism for its food, because this parasites, they don't have a complete digestive systems. They are not having the complete if we talk about the animals, they will not have complete digestive system, children. If we talk about plants, they are not going to have their complete machinery for doing photosynthesis. Now, if they cannot do photosynthesis, then what happens? They are not able to survive. So we are dealing only with the nutrition in the plants first of all. So I'll just tell you about it with respect to the plants. So all those non-green plants, here non-green plants are there. The non-green plants which are responsible, which is going to which cannot do photosynthesis, because photosynthesis is the main mechanism for the nutrition in plants. But these plants, they are not able to synthesize. They are not able to photosynthesize because they are having certain incompleteness. Either they are not having chloroplast, or they are not having the enzymes. They are not having, means there could be any problem, because of which what happens? They are not able to do complete nutrition. They are not going to gain complete nutrition from their own. So they have to be dependent upon others, and that is said to be as the parasitic mode of nutrition. But as a result of parasitic mode of nutrition, the organism sometimes die. But in the case of the plants, maximum times the parasite are going to invade the body of the a bigger organism. For example, there are the plants called Cuscuta. Okay, Cascata. These plants are these. This is a plant which is known as a parasitic plant. Now, this plant has a special type of roots which is going to go inside. They have a root. These roots are going inside the big trees. Okay, they can just anchor their roots inside the big trees, and because of which what happens, the big tree is going to have its nutrition. It could prepare its nutrition on its own. It can prepare its food on its own. But these cascatas, these are going to just take up all the nutrients which is being generated by this big tree. Fine. So this is known as the parasites. Okay. And this type of nutrition is said to be as a parasitic mode of nutrition. Now, children, I move on to the third type of nutrition, that is, so parasitic mode of nutrition means the organisms will be dependent upon, one living organism is dependent upon other living organism for its nutrition. The prepared food is completely taken up. It is being absorbed. It is being taken up by the plants. Okay. So it could be animal, it could be plant. And most of the time what happens, the host is going to be dead after the because of the nutrition which is being gained by these parasites. It is going to kill ultimately the host. In the case of animals it happens, but in the case of plants it is not going to be happening that all the time the host is going to die. The host is going to prepare the food, and these cascatas and these non-green plants which are not able to have their nutrition on its own, they are partially green, but they are not having the complete system which can do photosynthesis. That is why they are dependent upon the large number of it is dependent upon the big tree, fine, for its complete nutrition. Next mode of nutrition is the holozoic mode of nutrition. Holozoic mode of nutrition. So holozoic mode of nutrition means the organism is eating complete food. Organism takes up complete food. Now, children, what do you mean by complete food? Complete food means food consists of nutrients. Okay, nutrients means all those essential components like carbohydrates, starch, vitamins, fats, minerals. Okay, so all these are the nutrients. Now, children, we are eating the rice, we are eating wheat, we are eating vegetables, we are eating fruits. We are not eating carbohydrate. We are not taking out the nutrient from the rice, like carbohydrate is taking extracted from the rice and then we are eating it up. No, it's not like that, children. We are completely eating the complete food. We are eating the rice, wheat, dal, okay, pulses, we are eating vegetables, we are eating the fruits on in a complete bite, fine. But what happens inside our body? These food is going to be broken down into smaller components, and these smaller components is said to be as the smaller components could be the simpler form of the nutrients, and then it is being absorbed. So the animals which take up the complete food is said to be as they are said to be as a holozoic, means those animals are going to have the holozoic mode of nutrition, and this type of nutrition is also said to be as holozoic. So human beings are going to come under the holozoic mode of nutrition. They are going to eat up the holozoic mode of nutrition. Now, in the plants, we cannot see these. These are the types of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So, saprophytic plants are only the in the case of the plants, but in animals what happens, they are said to be as scavengers. Then after that, saprophytes are there in the animals also. Certain bacteria are there which will fall under the category of the saprophytes. Now in the parasitic mode of nutrition, in plants and animals both could be seen, fine. Now next is that holozoic mode of nutrition. In this, the animal comes. So we will deal with this holozoic mode of nutrition in the complete part, as I have to give you the complete information regarding the nutrition in the animal. So I'll go on to that. Fine. So here the certain nutrition in plants, I'll go back to that topic because I have to explain about the process of photosynthesis, why it is taking place, how it is taking place, fine. So we'll move on to the same topic and we'll continue with the nutrition in plants again. So nutrition in plants takes place in the it takes place where it is going to take place in the presence of the sunlight and some organic inorganic chemicals. I have told you very in the initial class only, and then I'm going to deal with the nutrition in plants again in detail. So we'll discuss about the photosynthesis and how it is taking place. So nutrition in plants. Now, plants are of two types, as I told you. One is non-green and other one is the green plant. Now, the nutrition is that just like other organisms, plants also require food which can supply energy to the various metabolic activities. Though animals can move from one place to another place in the search of food, but these plants cannot go. So what happens? The food has to be synthesized inside the body of the plants, fine. Now what has to be done? The green plants are known to be as autotrophs. So what are these green plants known to be as? The green plants are known to be as the autotrophs. Autotrophs are the only organisms. Autotrophs are only these are the plants. These green plants are only known to be as autotrophs, fine. Now they can synthesize their own food. That is why they are known to be as autotrophs, because automatically they can be gaining their nutrition. Now automatically means they are going to gain the nutrition from the different by synthesizing it with the help of the inorganic and inorganic chemicals like water, carbon dioxide, chlorophyll, sunlight, fine. Okay, then after that, the process of photosynthesis occurs only in the green plants. Now what is this photosynthesis? Photo means light and synthesis means to make. They can make their food in the presence of sunlight. So this is what is about the photosynthesis. The initial definition says that the very in the past also, in the very lower classes also, you all have studied about the definition of photosynthesis, children. So photosynthesis means it is a process which is done by the autotrophs, and in the presence of sunlight they are going to synthesize their food. They are going to make their food. That is what is known to be as a photosynthesis. So photo means light and synthesis means to build. The plant uses energy of sunlight to prepare their food with the help of, in the presence of carbon dioxide and water. Okay, then and also the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll present in the green parts of the body, green cell organelles, which is said to be as the chloroplasts. So you know the structure of chloroplasts. So if you can recall the structure of chloroplast, that is well and good. Otherwise, you can just look into the book and then you can find out what is the structure of this cell organelle, which is only present in the plant cell. Okay, so this structure, that is the chloroplast, is responsible for the development of the chlorophyll, and which is a green pigment which entraps the solar energy, and it is getting converted in the form of the chemical energy, that is in the form of food. Okay, so this is what is about the photosynthesis in short. The process by which green plants make their own food like glucose with the help of carbon dioxide, water and sunlight in the presence of chlorophyll is said to be as the photosynthesis. And oxygen is also a byproduct of photosynthesis. Okay, so if we write the chemical reaction, so this photosynthesis is a chemical reaction, you can easily say, because chemicals are used and a chemical is being synthesized. So if I write the chemical equation over here for photosynthesis, what could be the chemical reaction? The chemical reactions would be carbon dioxide is required, water is required, which gives rise to, in the presence of sunlight, so in the presence of sunlight, and chlorophyll. In the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, it gives rise to glucose. Okay, it gives rise to glucose and also the oxygen. So this is not a balanced chemical reaction, but if we have to balance this chemical reaction, we need to write down the numbers, and you all know that in chemistry you all have balanced many chemical reactions, so you can balance this also. So for writing this, we get this 6 CO2, then 6 H2O. Fine, this gives rise to the glucose as a byproduct, and then this would be 6 oxygen. So these are the main products of. So these are the products of photosynthesis, and these are the reactants. So reaction is always written like that. Reactants are the raw materials which are being taken and which is undergoing the reaction, and this reaction is going to help to form the products. Okay, so these products as a result are the result of these are the result of what? These are the result of the photosynthesis. Okay, so this is the raw material which is being doing the reaction, and then it is going to come up with the products, and then these products are useful. Some of the product, this is the glucose, and this is being absorbed, and if extra material which is being present in the plant, which is being stored in the form of the starch. Okay, so this is stored in the form of starch in the parts of the plants, and later on we are using these parts like the flower, the fruit, the stem, leaves, roots. All these are being used by the animals, where we are using the different parts of the plants in our food, isn't it? Okay. So here now what happens, this is done, this is being happening because of the reaction which is taking place. Okay children, so this was all this was about the reaction of the photosynthesis. Now the process of photosynthesis takes place in the leaves. Why it is said to be as the leaf is said to be as the food factory? Children, why I wanted to know that why the leaves are known as the food factories. So leaves are said to be as the food factories because it is said to be as that the plants are synthesizing the food only in the leaves. So it's not true. All the green parts of the plant they all have chlorophyll, and they have the potential to photosynthesize the food. But maximum, what is, if you think about the different parts of the plant, like stem is also green, sepals are also green, but we cannot count them as food factories. Only leaves are said to be as food factories. Children, why? Because leaves are more in number. That there are large number of leaves present on the tree, and then what happens? These leaves are having the complete part, and that could synthesize the food. So if number is more, if the number of leaves are more in the tree, then more number of food would be produced, more number of oxygen would be produced. Now if more number of oxygen is produced, and if the amount of food which is being prepared by the food is more, that is why food factories are termed to be as the the leaves are said to be as the food factories. Okay, so don't get confused. Food is being synthesized in all the parts of the plant, wherever the green plants are, wherever the green parts are there, they could synthesize the food. But food factory is only said to be as the leaves. Why? Because leaves are more in number, and the food which is being prepared by the leaf is more in number. Because if small food is going to be prepared, it means that large number of leaves are there, it means large number of food is prepared. Fine. So this is what is about the photosynthesis, this is what is about the food factory. Now next thing is that in the leaves it is taking place. So in the leaves, where it is taking place and from where we are getting the raw material. Okay, so this is known to be as they are present in the leaves. Now children, how is photosynthesis being done in the leaves? I'll just draw this up. Okay, so if I draw a leaf, right? Now what is happening? It is just a ray diagram. I just wanted to tell you that how the things are taking place. So here glucose is there, which is already being made by the process of photosynthesis. This gets converted in the form of starch. This gets converted in the form of starch. Now this glucose and in this is the root. Okay, I think this is visible till here. Then stem, which is taking up water. So water is being absorbed by the roots. So water is being taken up and this is transported here, and it is also transported upwards. Fine. Now what happens? The glucose which is being prepared here. So this glucose is getting, after the preparation, this also moves down. This also moves down. So what is the main process, main motto I just wanted to tell you with this diagram, that food which is being prepared in the leaf. Okay, so the food which is being prepared in the leaf because of the sun's energy. So this is going to prepare the food. Carbon dioxide is from the atmosphere. Water is from the roots. So water which is coming up, this is the water. So food, carbon dioxide plus water plus sunlight plus chlorophyll is present here. All these are going to help in the making of the food in the plants. Okay, so this is going to make food, and then what happens? This food is being prepared and also oxygen is prepared, which is being released outside the environment. So this is what is all the complete process of photosynthesis. Okay, so this is known as the photosynthesis. So this is the stored food. I think this might be very clear to you all now, that plants, they take up water from the roots. This water is moving only upwards. So the movement of water is only in one direction. Why in one direction? Because the roots are present in the ground, they are present in the soil. So the plants can absorb water only from the soil. Now if they are absorbing water from anywhere else, it could be also the bidirectional. But what about the food which is being prepared? Food has to go in both the direction. It has to go in the leaves also, it has to go in the roots also. So the food is always moving in both the directions. Children, please remember that this food is moving in both the directions. One, it is moving here also, this food is moving in this direction also, and the food is moving in this direction also, in downward as in the upwards. In both the directions the food could be moved. Okay, so here what happens, next thing is that what we have to study is that the extra food which is being prepared is stored inside the plant. Okay, it is stored inside the plant in the form of the starch. Okay, after that what happens, the next thing you have to study in this is that the nutrients is getting synthesized, or nutrients is getting synthesized, and extra amount of energy is being synthesized, and in the animals it becomes really very different. So we'll just write down certain things. I'll just explain you certain things. Then how the steps of photosynthesis is taking place. So this is the overall product, this is the overall reaction which is taking place in the photosynthesis, children. Now what you have to study, you have to see about the steps of photosynthesis. So what are the main steps? It is not so easy that I have just written that it is taking place in the leaves and it is taking place because of the presence of sunlight, and also there are chemical reactions which is going on, and these chemical reactions are very complex, and these complex reactions are to be studied by you all in the higher classes. It is not included in class 10. So I'll just give you a summary of the various steps of the photosynthesis which is taking place. Okay. Now, what is the step of photosynthesis? So, first step is the absorption of sunlight. Once the sunlight is getting absorbed, now the sunlight is getting absorbed by whom? It is being absorbed by the chlorophyll. Okay. The next is that the second step is the conversion of this light energy. The conversion of light energy. The conversion of light energy is taking place into chemical energy. Okay, so this light energy gets converted in the form of chemical energy because it is going to split the water. As water, the reaction, the formula of water is H2O. This oxygen is only released from the photolysis of water. So this is going to split the water molecule, and this results in the photolysis. This is known as splitting of water. This could be the third step, and this is also known as photolysis of water. Photolysis of water. Photolysis means, lysis means to break, and photo means light. So in the presence of sunlight, the water molecule is breaking down to release the chemicals like oxygens. This is known as the photolysis of water. Now next thing is that now after the photosynthesis, the carbohydrate is being formed. Okay, carbohydrate is being formed. So this carbon dioxide gets reduced into hydrogen. The fourth step is the reduction. In this one reaction till here, 1, 2 and 3, third 3 steps are in the light reaction. So this comes under light reaction which takes place in the daytime. This is light reaction. And the fourth step, this one, is known as the dark reaction. Children, this dark reaction takes place during the night time, where the reduction of carbon dioxide is there by hydrogen, okay, to form carbohydrate. So this forms carbohydrate, and this is going to form glucose, okay, and it utilizes the chemical energy. It utilizes the chemical energy. So this is what is about the dark reaction and the light reaction. And children, this is just the very superficial idea. I said that each reaction, each of these are having these, each of this is having a very vast chemical reaction, children. But still you need to know at least you should know the names: light reaction and dark reaction. Light reaction takes place in the light, and dark reaction takes place in the dark. Okay, during night time, where the glucose gets converted in the form of the starch, and then it is being stored. Even the starch is also broken down in the night time during the night, and then it is going to release energy. So carbon dioxide is also produced, and even the oxygen is also produced because of the splitting of this water molecule, which is known as the photolysis of water. So here you need to understand the meaning of photolysis. Photolysis, again, it is a long word made up of 2 words. Photo and lysis. Lysis means to break down, and photo means in the presence of light. So what kind of light is being present? We are not talking about the light of the candle light or the light which is present in your rooms. No, we are talking about the sunlight over here. So when sunlight is there, sunlight is going to split this water molecule. Now how all these things are taking place? It requires energy. Even the energy is being generated also. So all these things would be studied by you all in the higher classes. Fine. So this was all about about the photosynthesis, children. Now I'll just talk about the conditions which are necessary for the photosynthesis in the next class. So in today's class we have understood the complete process of photosynthesis, which takes place under various headings, which takes place under the various steps. One, that is the light reaction and the dark reaction, and then it is taking place in the chloroplast. So please remember the structure of chloroplast. It is a type of green plastid. Okay, so plastids you all have studied in class 9. Please recall the diagram of plastids, where chloroplast is the most common one. That is why we are studying here. And now here you should know that chloroplast is the main site of photosynthesis, and this is present. This chloroplast contains chlorophyll, and this chlorophyll is responsible for entrapping the solar energy. So children, that was all about today's video. I will meet you all in the next video with the next topic to be discussed, and that would be on the topic of the conditions which are necessary for photosynthesis. Okay, so here in photosynthesis you have understood about the raw materials which are being present, and these are being absorbed. Some are being absorbed by the roots, some are being absorbed by the atmosphere directly with the help of stomata. So all these things, I think it is going to make you all I mean, this could be a very clear-cut concept regarding the photosynthesis now. Okay, so that's all for today. I'll meet you all in the next video with the next topic to be discussed.